Hey guys, and welcome back to JetpackRetro. We're going to continue the thing that we started that I told you guys about. The Futurama extravaganza we are going to continue. So we are on part 2 of the extravaganza, which is the second list. Like I said in my previous video, I wasn't going to put any emotional episodes in my best list because I just felt like they deserved to be on their own list. Because I find a good, funny, best Futurama episode is different from an emotional one. So today is the top 7 most emotional Futurama episodes. Sit tight, hang in there, and let's get right to it.
So you're in pain and have a bunch of needles. I prescribe acupuncture. Let's begin. Blood? I mean blood.
Now, I chose this episode for number 7 because if you look at it in a certain way, it is an emotional episode. For years, we've always seen that Zoidberg's a terrible doctor, but he's always around and is actually pretty good friends with Professor whenever you see them together. They even know each other's name and everything, like fully. And it was just nice to see an episode where it told you their story. It told you the reason why they were best friends and why he was there to begin with. This episode goes deeply in the emotion that it shows you the emotion of friendship. It shows you how much these guys mean to each other. It shows you all the stuff they would go through just to make sure they're okay. This episode is really great because it just shows you everything. It shows you the true nature of friendship and what length somebody would go in order to save their friend. So that's why this episode gets the number 7 spot. It's a solid, beautiful episode telling the story of friendship between two people who have known each other for a long time. Zoidberg and the Professor.
I've had worse. When I was shot down over Korea, I had to eat kimchi. He was our interpreter.
Now, number 6 was a tricky spot. The reason why it was a tricky spot was because I was really mixed on what to put in this part of the list. At first, I wrote down The Devil's Hands are Ideal Playthings, but then I thought, I don't know, I find that more closer to a Futurama episode, even though it does have some emotional moments with Fry and Leela. And then I really got thinking. I decided to rewatch again some certain episodes, and then I got it. Then I saw the episode Cold Warriors, and if you guys don't understand what makes this so emotional, like, yes, it's mostly a joke with the common cold and everything, but throughout the episode, it keeps showing you flashbacks of Fry and his father's relationship together. It keeps showing you flashbacks on how he wasn't really the best to him, all the stuff that happened to him. And what makes it emotional is really the background, besides everything else. But what really made it emotional for me to put it at number 6 on this list was the ending of the episode. If you guys don't remember, the ending of the episode shows Fry when having a flashback when he was a kid ice fishing with his dad one day. And the dad had a serious talk with him, just them, telling him that, you want to know what? I may give you shit sometimes, I may do all this stuff, but in the end I do still care. And then they spend a nice time together. That ending scene right there was able to pop this for number 6. So Cold Warriors is number 6, mostly because of that ending that really just brings it all home. All the stuff you've been seeing about him and his dad throughout the episode and flashbacks, that ending grabs all of it and brings it home to a nice emotional stop, which I gotta admit is a great stop for number 6. So, next number.
Mom? There's so much I need to say. Is it really you?
Yes. I've dreamed about you a lot since you disappeared. What did you want to tell me?
Number 5 is this episode because, let's be honest, ever since Fry's been frozen, there's so many good stories you can tell by the fact that he wasn't around anymore. After he got frozen, he disappeared. And there's so many great stories you could tell with the people, like his parents and stuff, on what happened when he was gone. And this is one of those episodes. One, it really does drive it home when he has to go into his memories and he starts seeing his family and stuff again, and he starts realizing that in a way he did miss them, and tries so hard to spend time with them again throughout the episode, and even tries to talk with them again, and maybe in his memories find a way to say his last words that he never got to. But then he realizes it's just his memories, what's the point? Then that ending brings it home like the other one did. Then they bring that ending where Nibbler, as a thank you, puts Fry in one of his mom's dreams from back then, so this time his mom will actually get the message. This scene has made a lot of people I know say it's a great episode. Hell, even people I know in my family usually put this high up on their list for just best episodes in general, just because of the thing with Fry and his mom at the end. It's very emotional, the way Fry doesn't even have last words to say. He has so much to say, but not enough time that he just decides to hug her and that's it. Like, a hug is just enough for her to get the message. And her reaction when she wakes up and gives that smile showing you that he is okay. She doesn't need to worry. Just the relationship between him and his mom in this episode, just like the Cold Warriors episode, is what brings it to number 5. Cold Warriors got number 6 because it had such a good way of showing the relationship between him and his dad. But this episode is a bit higher because they throughout the episode they show more of the emotional relationship between Fry and his mom throughout the episode, and then the ending, just like a cake, puts frosting all over everything. You already have such a nice build up, and then that ending just completely coats it and makes it great. So yeah, Game of Tones is number 5 because just the relationship with his mom was beautiful, and that ending just really knew how to finish everything off. Oh yeah, that's right. This episode. A lot of people know this episode. This episode has also become a classic in the Futurama community. Everybody knows this episode. Everybody goes nuts for this episode. Hell, even when I just say the title of the episode, everybody I know goes, "Oh, I remember that." Just the other day when my cousin was over, I literally brought up this episode. I just told him, "Hey, the Sting." That's all I said. And he right away went, "Oh yeah, the B episode." Everybody knows this episode. It's another classic episode. But people usually just label it as your regular, here's a Futurama episode. Like what I did with my top 7 best Futurama episodes, people usually put it there. But it doesn't really belong there. If you watch the episode closely, it shows the emotion between Fry and Leela. It really shows how much they truly do love each other and all the stuff they would do for each other. Hell, throughout the episode, Leela goes through this spiraling mad coma that just makes her go nuts about Fry. She can't stand the fact that Fry is gone, because in her coma dream she thinks he's gone. And just the fact of him being gone hurts her too much that she even once tries to just make herself sleep forever just because she can't deal with that. While at the same time, throughout the episode, Fry is like talking to her, trying to make her feel better, letting her know that he's still here, it's fine. And then the ending just really reels it off at the end when she finally wakes up in the hospital and Fry is there, and they just show that Fry never left her side. He's there, helped her wake up, and he would never leave. This episode just truly is what kickstarts how true the relationship is to each other and how much they truly love each other. This episode is what kickstarts the whole thing that the finale was made for. The finale led all the stuff they did together for this. And the finale and everything else they did together is much stronger with this episode. This episode just shows how true their relationship is and how much they would truly do anything for each other, because even if at the beginning they don't admit it, they do care about each other. Do I even need to say anything, really? Every person I talk to and ask, they always put this episode at number 1 on their list. Every person I talk to always says, oh yeah, the one about the dog, that's emotional as hell. Put that at number 1. Everybody knows this episode. Everybody has cried when they were a kid seeing this episode. Everyone knows this episode. Do I really need to talk about it? It's Jurassic Park, and it gets the number 3 spot. Now, some of you might go, wait, number 3? Why is it number 1 or number 2? Let me explain that in the next entry.
Son, I'm naming you Philip J. Fry in honor of my little brother, who I miss every day.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is another episode that when I ask people about their favorite episodes in general, they always tell me, oh, my 2 favorite Futurama episodes is the one about his brother and the one about the dog. Everyone tells me that every time. When I ask anybody about what their favorite episodes of Futurama are, these 2 are always their 2 top favorite. It's always this and then the dog, or some people have it the other way around, where it's the dog then this episode. And yeah, I will admit, this episode is beautiful. Luck of the Fryish has a beautiful story that is a really great idea to tackle. It tells the beautiful story of sibling relationships, which are pretty hard to tackle in some scenarios. It tells the basic story that we've seen a lot, but Futurama just does it in a way that's so well done. It tells the story of Fry when he was smaller, just like in Cold Warriors, the flashback thing where it shows flashbacks when he was younger, and it shows flashbacks of when he was a kid and how his older brother was an ass. His older brother wanted everything that he had, would attack him or make fun of anything he wanted to do or he wanted to be, and always put him down no matter what. So Fry always chalked it up to his brother just always hated him. That was it. Just for no reason, his brother just randomly hated him for no reason. And then finally, it reminds him of his clover and how lucky he was when he had it. And he uncovers that his brother had it and all this stuff happened. And his brother ended up taking everything he loved and doing it himself. But then it gives that amazing plot twist. It's a perfect plot twist. And everybody who's seen the episode, I'm not sure if I should spoil it or not, but hell, this is Futurama. It's been over for a while. A ton of you people, a lot of people that I've asked already knows this episode like the back of their hand. That the plot twist shows that it is actually his nephew who is the one that did the dreams he did and has his clover and everything. And it just really hits Fry hard because it even shows on the nephew's plaque that he was named Philip after his uncle, who his brother actually missed so very much. And this shows you that his brother did truly care all these years, and that's what hits people hard. It even shows a flashback of his brother after his son was born and begging the wife if he could name him Philip because of how much he misses him and wherever he went. So yeah, I don't even really need to ramble that much about this. Everybody loves this episode. Everybody praises it. Everybody says it's like one of their top favorite episodes, and rightfully so. It is a great episode. But now you people are going to start questioning even more. Now you people are going to start thinking, whoa, wait. So, 1, the dog episode wasn't second or first, and 2, you're telling me that the second best Futurama episode, the one about the brother, isn't your number 1? No, they're not. And for one reason. Now, a lot of you know when this episode came out, it was a huge deal. Because when the show first started, we all just assumed that Leela was an alien. She looked like it, and we all just assumed, okay, even she said she was an alien that was just dropped off by some aliens that didn't want her anymore, and she was orphaned. We always thought that the whole time, the whole show. And then finally, this episode just came in and showed a plot twist on who her parents actually are. And you guys are probably wondering, yeah, it's a beautiful episode and it gave a really good plot twist for some new, great, likable characters. But why is this number one worthy? You guys really want to know why it's number one worthy? Really? Just look at this. Now, a lot of you are probably going to be wondering, why is that the demanding factor that made it number one? Well, if you guys have been paying attention throughout this list, I've always told you that a lot of things on this list that have made it such an emotional episode on the list is either the flashbacks that really enhance the story that we're seeing, or that ending. Like I said, Cold Warriors, what made it an emotional episode was the fact that the ending showed this great ending between him and his father that made it on my list. And a lot of episodes I've said has a great emotional ending. Hell, that's one of the reasons why you guys only like Jurassic Park. A lot of you only have the dog episode as your number one because of that ending of the dog waiting for Fry and him never coming back. That ending is so emotional that it hits you. Same thing with Luck of the Fry, except Luck of the Fry, I'll give an exception. Luck of the Fry is an episode where we can see that emotion build throughout the episode in flashbacks, but then that ending of him finding out about his nephew is what hits it home. And I'm sorry, guys, but out of all of these episodes, Leela's Homeworld had the best emotional ending. The ending of this episode hits me harder than any of these other episodes ever could. This ending is beautiful. It shows that, yeah, she was given away just because her parents wanted her to have a better life because that's how much they love her. But also it shows, what makes it the most emotional, is that it also shows that they were there. It shows that no matter what she thought, no matter how much it looked like she was alone, her parents were still there for her. Where you see the parents interacting with her through the walls and stuff, always making sure she's okay, even at night making sure she sleeps well. They were always there, even though she didn't know. And that's what really hits this episode home for the most emotional. It shows that even if she didn't know it, even if she didn't see them, they still care so much that they were still there taking care of her, even if she didn't know. They were still always there for her to help. And that's what really hits it home. The parents' love that shows that even if they had to give her up, they were still there to help her when they needed it. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This was part 2 of the Futurama extravaganza. And this was the top 7 most emotional Futurama episodes. Now, next time in Futurama extravaganza, part 3 will be the top 7 worst Futurama episodes. Now, I'm not excited for the next list we're going to be looking at, but it has to be talked about. So, see you guys when that arrives. In the meantime, see ya.
Wow.